Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, chances are, if you drive, eventually you're going to get pulled over. And if you do get pulled over, chances are you're going to get a ticket. It used to be that the police, for minor infractions, gave out a lot of warnings. If a taillight was broken, they'd give you a verbal warning and tell you to get it fixed. But nowadays, that's very rare because municipalities and police departments depend on that revenue for their funding. But you want to make sure that a simple traffic stop doesn't become anything more than that. Most police will handle themselves in a professional manner, and the stop will be unremarkable. But people become cops for all kinds of reasons, other than to serve and protect. There are police with racist agendas. There are police who are bullies. There are police who are just plain assholes. Hopefully, you'll never meet one of those. I have, but only a very few, and I've been around for a pretty long time. Also, there have been incidents where criminals have decked out their cars and even obtained uniforms so that they can pull people over and rob them and carjack them. So if you are being pulled over and you're in an area that you're familiar with, drive to some place that's well lit and public and there are people around. A gas station, a parking lot for a store or something like that. Now, it might irritate the cop a little bit that you didn't pull over right away, but actually it's safer for both you and the policeman if you do that. If you have a camera or a cell phone, start the camera. Start recording, put it on the seat or on the dashboard when you pull over so that everything is documented. Now, there are states that have prohibited police from recording the police. However, the courts have overwhelmingly ruled in favor of the people doing the recording. The Supreme Court a long time ago ruled that people who are in a public place have no reasonable expectation of privacy. That goes for the private citizen and the cop as well. In fact, if you're recording and a policeman does come over and begins acting abusively and unprofessionally, sometimes you can use that to beat a legitimate ticket. Ticket may be perfectly legitimate. You might have violated some regulation. But when a judge sees a cop acting unprofessionally like that, it affects his credibility with the judge, and you might actually beat the ticket. So if you have a recording device, use it. Once you have brought your car to a stop, sit still with your hands in plain view. You don't want to start searching for your registration or your driver's license. You wait until the cop gets there, because if he sees you moving around, he's likely to think that you're either hiding evidence or going for a weapon. And you really don't want him coming over to you thinking that you're about to start some shit with him. So sit still. What I always do, I sit still, I put my hands up on the top of the steering wheel and leave them there so that they're in plain sight and the cop can see them. Then once the policeman arrives at the door, if he wants license and registration, then you tell the policeman what you're doing so that he doesn't misinterpret any of what you're moving. I'm getting my wallet out of my pocket. I'm going into the glove compartment. If you have a weapon in the car or on yourself or in the glove box, let the policeman know. So you say, I'm going to look in the glove compartment now to get my registration. Is that okay with you? The policeman will give you permission to go ahead. But wait until he's there and he can see what you're doing before you start doing that. Be courteous and respectful. The cop is doing his job. You don't want to start it off with hostility. That will just increase the chance that you do get a ticket. Who knows, it might have been that you were going to get let off, but then you started acting like a dick and the cop said, well, this guy's getting a ticket. You might even get arrested. And remember, the cop is the one with the power in that situation. He has the right to see your ID. He has the right to ask you questions. He has the right to administer a drug or alcohol test. Comply with his demands, as long as they are reasonable and don't put you at risk. If you feel you are being treated unreasonably or your rights are being violated, you can get a lawyer and address that issue later. But at this point, the cop, he has the power and he has a gun and a badge. You don't want to provoke him. And you also have the right to make a complaint against that policeman. So make sure that you write down his name and badge number. That being said, you do not have to let him search your person or your vehicle. Do not ever give the police permission to conduct a search, no matter what. Even if you're sure that there's nothing in the car that will incriminate you. If they conduct an illegal search, anything they find will most likely be inadmissible in court. If you give them permission, all bets are off. Don't try to explain yourself. Don't make excuses. Say as little as possible and let the officer do the talking and explain why he's pulling you over. If he doesn't, then you can ask him that. Don't argue. Don't curse at him. Don't give the cop any reason to believe that you are anything but a law-abiding citizen. Thanks for listening.